good morning, everyone. My name is Mark Santos. I led the cloud architects and customer success managers in Oracle in ASEAN. And I also have my team here, which is the sales team led by Lalaine Naidu. I also have my technical lead, which is Shubin, to help you in Q&A. But today, I'm going to present all of the beautiful, our differentiator with other cloud and why Oracle and why we have this multi-cloud strategy that we are, proposing to our clients. So number one, we will discuss the cloud or OCI. When I talk about OCI, I meant Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, especially for those who are first time hearing OCI. I think we have clients here as well, so I will also have some customer references, but let's go discuss this one by one. So OCI overview and the complete product portfolio. The second topic that we're going to discuss is why OCI, right? Our differentiator, our top 5 differentiator, which is superior in performance, our autonomous database capability, the enterprise security, better SLA, right? Talking about the availability, performance and manageability. Of course, our support, how do we differ from other clouds? How do we handle our support structure and our customer centricity to offer to our clients? And then, at much lower cost than any other cloud, right? So the multi-strategy approach, multi-cloud strategy approach that we are, some of our clients are already, onboarded, having a, connectivity between Azure, AWS, GCP, and OCI, right? So the last topic, we're going to provide you the different training, enablement, the helpful links, and our Philippine customer and international customer as well in OCI. Okay. All right. So OCI overview and complete product portfolio. Right. So you can see in the screen that when we talk about Oracle, right, it's not only about infrastructure, it's not only about platform or only software as a service. Right? From the bottom part, you can see the infrastructure as a service here. We complete the product. We offer you the complete infrastructure capability and services of OCI, from compute, storage, networking, container services, serverless, etc. Right? So the good thing in Oracle Cloud, right? We don't really buy other servers. We bought Sun Microsystems. We are using our own Intel servers, right? Our X7, X8, X9 servers, right? So on top of that, right, Oracle has been known, right, the number one database company in the world, right, which is our first client is CIA, right? So the database management, we started from database management. Of course, we own Java, right? There are 3 billion mobile applications, web servers that are running on Java platform, right? So platform as a service, we will talk about the data management, the analytics that we have, the digital assistance that we have, the different databases that we have, the big data and application integration as well, right? So not only that, in terms of the SaaS, we have a lot of SaaS customers, our NetSuite customers, our ERP customers, HR customers, SCM and different like hotel customers as well all over the Philippines and all over the world. So you can see that when you're looking a very comprehensive product portfolio or cloud portfolio in the world, OCI or Oracle Cloud covers everything from infrastructure, platforms, and application, right? So this is a review from our from Gartner, Forrester, and IDC. These are different marketing review, right? But given this supporting the first slide, right, you can see that Oracle Cloud is complete, complete services in terms of infrastructure, platform, and SaaS. Competing with other cloud provider out there. So we have the most complete services that we offer to our valued customers, beating AWS, Microsoft, and Google Cloud, right? So Mark, a lot of customers is asking us, can you run your open source operating system? Can you run your open source applications or run your open source databases? The answer is yes, right? So we have already certified almost 500 certified open source offerings, applications, databases operating system as well to run on the cloud. So it's not only designed, our OCI is not only designed to cater Oracle technologies or products, but we also support open source applications. In terms of our design, it is important that everyone knows our design. So our design is MAA, so that's a maximum availability architecture, right? So designed to really to provide the highest resiliency, highest performing, excuse me, highest performing data centers, right? So in the bottom part, we have 3 data centers. I'm sorry, I'll just drink a water. All right. So we have 3 data centers. Our design is basically 3 pyramid data centers, which is the active, passive, So it's a pyramid replication, providing you resiliency in as much as possible. So providing you resiliency in compute, storage, database, networking, and security, right? So at least you can sleep at night, that all of your workloads or all of your servers and application and database are really secured with OCI. Okay. So talking about our data center in regions around the world, we already have 37 regions across the world, from North America, from South America, Europe, Middle East, Asia, right? So we also have 11 Azure Interconnect. So it's really growing, right? So the goal of Oracle is to really be the #1 cloud provider by the end of the year in terms of the number of regions, data centers across the world. Okay. So the Oracle Cloud complete capabilities in terms of OCI. So in the bottom part, you can see the different portfolio of what we're offering in compute. So we have the different flexible VMs, right? So the different flexible VMs, you can select the vCPU or the RAM. You can just move to the left, to the right. It's very flexible that you can scale up, scale down easily. With our VMs, we have Intel Xeon processors. We also have AMD, and we have the Ampere processors as well. So if you have requirement for very high, high performance compute, different critical applications, we have the bare metals for you, the fastest, the latest and greatest bare metals that we have. Okay, if you're looking for container-based solutions, we have the Oracle Kubernetes engine for you, our DevOps project that cater for that. All right. So our autonomous Linux, right, is fully compatible with Red Hat Enterprise Linux, right? The kernel version is the same. All of the command lines when you use your Linux is basically the same. The good thing with Oracle Autonomous Linux is just the first in the world that can patch itself without any downtime. So that's that's the common problem of our system admin, right? Where they're patching their operating system manually. Okay. And then of course, autonomous Linux is free without any extra cost for our clients. All of the Linux offering in OCR are all free. Okay. And then VMware OCVS, right? If you're running a lot of VMware workload, right? We have our OCVS, our Oracle Cloud VMware service that really, we can have a hybrid approach where you have a DR, In our OCVS, you will have 3 bare metal nodes. You have your RAM, your storage, your vCPUs, your terabytes of storage that can cater that DR or lift and shift your OCV or your VMware vSphere 6.5, 6.7, etc. to our Oracle Cloud. Name the storage that you would like. The default in OCI is we're using non-volatile media express storage, right? So meaning this is the fastest, the latest storage, for our elastic block storage, our S3 object storage, our archive storage, alpha storage, etc. Right? So networking, when for the network architects, network engineers out there, right? So the traditional is very hard for you to really configure, your networking, but for VCN, in a span of 2 minutes to 5 minutes, you will have your VCN or virtual cloud network infrastructure already, and having your internet gateway, your NAT gateway, your securities, your firewalls, your IPsec VPN, your fast connect, all will be set up for you automatically, right? You just have to input your private subnet or your public subnet, right? So that is core infrastructure, all right? Then we talk about the developer service on the left corner, right? So Mark, do you have solutions for low-code development? We have two products that we have. Number one is Apex, Application Express. No, Mark, can you convert Excel? No, the common problem or the common use case or problems of the financial or accounting teams, just like, I have a lot of Excel. Can you turn that into a web-based application in minutes time? That is a application express, converting Excels to form-based application rapidly, instantly, right? So talk about digital assistant. No, if you know chatbot, right? Chatbot is basically like bank chatbot. But the good thing with our digital assistants in OCI is basically it's an intelligent chatbot, meaning it can cater, banking bot, right, retail bot, right, airline bot, right, educational platform bot, or etc. Right. So that's the good thing with our digital assistant. It can cater different requirements or use cases of a chatbot, right? AppDev, right? So Visual Builder Studio, our DevOps project, the whole CI/CD from planning to testing to deployment, we have it for you, right? Because it's running on Oracle Kubernetes engine, Oracle, Oracle Linux, right? So we are automating as much as possible the whole CI/CD pipeline with our resource manager, with our Terraform. You can build your applications, build your database, build your front end, build your web servers, build your load balancers automatically. That is coming already, automating everything in infrastructure as code, right? So, and then if I have a deep dive slides for integration, but at least the application integration is very important. Right? So we have customers in the Philippines, like a manufacturing that has SAP, right? And then we have Oracle Cloud customer services, right? So how do we integrate that automatically? With the application integration or Oracle integration clouds, basically we have 70 plus ready adapters that can really integrate different applications, well-known applications, corporate applications, third-party applications, right? So via REST API. So that's automation of application integration, so that you can already integrate different source and target applications, right? So and then we have the databases, right? The databases, the autonomous databases, database cloud service. We also have Microsoft SQL on the marketplace, right? We also have the MDS, since Oracle owns MySQL. We have the MySQL Enterprise Edition. We also have the HeatWave for your analytics. We also have, support the NoSQL, JSON databases, Postgres, right? Database as a service. So we have a huge portfolio of databases in OCI as well, right? So, and if you are in need of big data, the Apache Kafka, if you have unstructured data, building those data lake, we have solutions for you, combining that with our autonomous data warehouse, okay, with our object storage and the streaming services, so automating every source and target, ETL, extract, transform, load of your data, right? So once we already have the databases, once we have the enterprise data warehouse or big data or data lake, we have the analytics for you, right? And analytics, full pack of AI and machine learning, right? So in a right click, for example, the financial, so financial or accounting, right? I want to know my FY22 earnings. In the right click of a button, there's a tool there, learn or explain button that it can give you reports automatically, right? 20 reports, without, it's simplifying everything with the AI and machine learning of our Oracle Analytics Cloud, providing you ready reports that your different BUs can use, your accounting, your HR, or your sales, right? So, and then we discuss all of everything of this, but it's important to discuss governance and administration, right? So cloud operations, who's accessing what, identity access management, users and groups, rights and security, policies, right? Dynamic groups, compartment. We are the only one offering you compartmentalized, right? So if your business here is like a consulting services or professional services, you can have multiple companies or multiple environments within OCI, simplifying everything. Within compartments, you have different resource group, For example, you have a production compartment and you have a DR compartment. Those are logical compartment or logical environment that cannot see each other, security, right? So, but if you're more on the business side, right, I can have company A, company B. Also, these are the the use cases that the different lines we have are that they use. Okay, security, right? We beef up our security so much, right? From the cloud guard, right? Cloud guard basically assessing all of the security vulnerabilities. Mark, my do you have a tool to check if my deployment is free of risk, right? So CloudGuard can detect that automatically with you, like if an open port 80, right? And it can automatically recommend you as well, right? So Mark, do you have a solution to detect all the vulnerabilities, common vulnerability exposures or CVE on hundreds of servers of our clients? Yes, our clients is leveraging that to ensure that they don't have a missing CVE like the most common, like the Apache Log4j, right? And the DDoS, it's denial of service attack, ping of death, right? So web application firewall, protect from cyber attacks, from cross-site scripting, SQL injection, right? We have over 750, 750 policies that you can enable on the fly. Like our banking clients, oh, very heavy, okay? We have vulnerability assessment and penetration testing with our existing banking client that we ensure that all of our security solutions are deployed on their infrastructure, right? So of course, we have the security, we have the identity and access. We need observability and manageability, or we call it OMM, right? So monitoring our infrastructure, CPU, RAM, storage, etc. We have logging analytics, checking deep dive, right? Like audit logging, right? So notifications, email, SMS, right? So application performance monitoring. So I spend more time of this because I'll go deep dive on our differentiator. At least you know that OCI has a lot of products in terms of the different services in application development, IaaS, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, databases, etc. Right? Okay, so why OCI? We have top 5, a differentiator, but I'm telling everyone, not all clouds are the same. Okay, so number 1 is superior performance. Okay, so most of the clouds, our competitors are running on Gen 1, old infrastructure, right? How do you question them, right? So basically, how do you upgrade your servers, right? Because the traditional, on-prem, every 3 years to 5 years, you upgrade your servers, right? But in OCI, the Gen 2, we upgrade continuously our servers without any extra cost on our clients, right? So we achieve the latest Gen 2 running on X8, X9 servers, right? Those are the fastest, 3 gigahertz of CPU clock speed, the fastest storage, NVMe storage, fastest RAM, right? So better performance, lower latency, in terms of network. We're running on our network with the terabits of fast networking, not only gigabytes but terabits of networking as well, right? So to ensure that we have the better performance, from infrastructure, networking, and of course we enhance our security, that ensuring when you log into OCI, right? So later we have the always free. When you try it out, right? There's so much infrastructure security, right? To enhance from surface attack, because this cloud right out here on the old ones, just okay that when you are sharing a tenancy, right? So we need to ensure that the data of each customer are really safe, enhancing the security from compartmentalized, from dividing the server virtualization and the networking virtualization as well. Okay, so name it. What type of workloads does the client customer require? So you can see it here from the different package enterprise application, critical application, high demand applications, right? Manufacturing, right? Our manufacturing, automotive clients, healthcare clients, government clients, right? So we have the different OCI services for you, right? I mentioned about flexible compute, right? So We have bare metal GPUs, real application clustering running on Exadata. We have the bare metals for high performance compute GPUs, right? 3.1. The latest GPU that we have, the fastest cluster network within our high performance compute. No, so the answer is that the question is that can you cater small workloads up to the most demanding workloads? That is OCI, built for enterprises, and it can cater any kind of workloads that our customer require, entrusting us to that it's always available as much as possible, right? So massive and predictable performance because of the Gen 2 design, right? So we're using our own service, as I've mentioned, right? 2x better performance than other cloud provider out there, especially on the storage as well, because we're using the latest NVMe. We always upgrade our compute, right, without any impact to our customers, right? So with others, you're still using the default SSD, but in OCI, right, you will use NVMe, better storage with a better cost. So all right, right? So you achieve both, right? Better performance and better cost. So why not try OCI? Okay. So the second is the autonomous database, right? Uh, uh, our customers are asking us that, okay, right? Because data is the most valuable asset. How can you secure your data in the cloud in the most secure manner, right? So look at this, right? You have in Philippines, we have our SSS, our PhilHealth, right? Our government tax identification number, etc. Right? So Oracle is very designing the most trusted platform on our autonomous database. So that's why that we built this autonomous database. No, if you heard of Tesla car, right? Because of all of these are Tesla pictures, right? But think about Tesla, right? A database that is self-driving, self-securing, and self-preparing, right? From provisioning, you can provision our autonomous transaction processing database or autonomous data warehouse database in minutes time, automating the provisioning as much as possible. It can scale up automatically when you click that box, right? When auto scaling means I can improve my performance without the need of manually automating my database, right? So it can scale up to 1 to 2x to 3x, right? So security at its most, right? So these are the problem of the database or DBAs, right? So how can I secure my database? So protecting you from internal and external threats. You cannot access this database without like a secure wallet. No, secure. It's like a 2FA. No, with 2FA, you need an OTP. This one, you need a wallet to access our database in cloud, right? So it's automating as much as possible the indexing, etc. Of the database, right? So the purpose of our autonomous database is basically for you to focus on your business, leave the administration, leave the security, the backup, etc. to us, right? And then look at this, right? Our autonomous database is designed to run 24 hours a day, 7 times a week, 365 days a year, right? So it's providing you the almost 0.05, but different of 100%, providing you the highest SLA of an autonomous database. Okay. Number three is the enterprise security, right? So we talk about, security is people forget about security, right? Because, they're spending more infrastructure, but, a well-architected framework involves, security and compliance, right? So the good thing with Oracle Cloud Infrastructure is that our design in OCI is security by default, right? Meaning, our storage are encrypted by default, meaning encrypted on transit and at rest, right? So other clouds don't have that. You need to manually enable the encryption, right? So we'll talk about the deep dive architecture security later, but the differentiator is really we have the data safe as well, that when you have an Oracle database, we have like a vulnerability, first time in the world that we have that it's like a vulnerability assessment tool to assess all of your database. Are you meeting compliance, government requirements, etc., right? So I mentioned about isolation. We're ensuring that the data of our customers is really safe as much as possible. We mentioned about autonomous Linux, improving the patching, eliminating the need of system admin to manually patch our Linux operating system. And then we have the maximum security goal, especially for banks that do you have a networking architecture or networking that, that is secured by default. Yeah, so we have that maximum security zone, running on private subnet, encryption by default, right? So best practice VCN are there already, right? So the good thing with Oracle Cloud Infrastructure as well is that we met all of the compliance, the strictest, the most difficult global government industry regional certificates around the world. All right. So if your company is in need of ISO, you can download now in OCI the PDF or the reports, the secure PCI DSS if you're banking, right? So or if you're in healthcare, HIPAA, our customers can already download that without the request within Oracle employees as well. So that's the liberty, that's the flexibility. We are proud that most like 20 certifications, compliance and audits are already available for customers, ready to download and review. No, so if you're, for example, a customer in the Philippines, right? Is requiring their third-party compliance to that they need ISO. So you can download it itself without us providing it to you. So your data is safe with us because these are thousands, hundreds of audit pages that we have already passed. No? So entrusting your um, data to us, right? So Mark, what are the different security solutions that you have in the cloud, right? So let's talk about the detection and remediation first, right? So I've discussed about CloudGuard, but if Mark, I really do you have a tool that can scan my whole infrastructure in OCI from compute, network, storage, application, database? Is there a tool that can detect and remediate that risk? The answer is CloudGuard, right? CloudGuard with the vulnerability scanning all of CVE open ports of your servers. No, this is more on the server. We discussed about security zones, protecting you the most recommended, highly secured networking security advisor detecting in conjunction with CloudGuard security zone and vulnerability. It's like an advisor that when you click, in a single click, all of the top 10, top 20 security critical risks. No? So if you're an OCI, if you're a client of us, right? So talk to us so we configure with you the CloudGuard, and basically we will help you to eliminate that critical risk because they're critical, high risk, low, medium, and low, right? So we will take care about the critical risk. So data protection, right, is very important, right? I've mentioned about the our storage are encrypted by default, right? So encrypted by default that we encrypt it for you automatically to protect from cyber attacks, etc. Right? So we have the KMS. You protect your password, right? Rotational password. I mentioned about DataSafe, the first in the world that can a vulnerability risk assessment tool to check your Oracle database if it's free at risk as well, right? So certificate services in conjunction with our web application firewall and load balancer, you can use our certificate services, to encrypt the TLS traffic 1.2, ensuring that you have an end-to-end encryption, no, from web application firewall to load balancer to, for example, to your Nginx or to your IIS, right? So the traffic is encrypted, the HTTPS traffic is encrypted by default, right? So, and then we have the OS and workload protection, right? So to ensuring that you have the protection from secure boot, those attacker that, from the boot itself, right? We protect that, no? We protect that. We have shielded instances. We have dedicated hosts, Bastion as a service. If you are in need of Jampo, secure Jampos, this is really one of the most used service that our clients is using to protect from like administrators. I don't need to build a Jampo server. I just need the Bastion host to safely administer my servers or workloads or in the cloud. OS management, one of my favorite as well, right? So Mark, you detect the vulnerability scanning here, but do you have a tool to automate the patching of our Linux and Microsoft servers? The answer is OS management, right? It detects the missing patches, in a single click, you can apply, for example, test and dev. I will apply the Windows patches or Linux available packages or missing CVE. You can do that, automate the patching. An amazing product, right? So identity access, we all of our clients right now, we have all 100 less than 100 clients in the Philippines, and we ensure, the moment that they use OCI, we enable the multi-factor authentication, right? Meaning OTP sending to SMS or email, any changes in OCI will be detected by audit, right? Our OCI audit, right? So we can check the logs. Federation, if you have Active Directory with Azure or like on-prem Active Directory, we can have federation to integrate the users and groups in OCI as well, right? So infrastructure protection and network protection is very important. The DDoS protection, denial service attack, the ping of death, right? So, we cannot just let down our servers so that these people can attack our servers. So web application firewall, right? There are, the two main importance to block country. So we have a client like for automotive, right? Mark, can we protect this from being accessed from other countries like China, Russia? Yes, we have that. Mark, do we have some rules, no? 750 rules, because I saw in the news that this log4j is very critical and I want to protect my web servers. Do you have that? You can just click it and enable the security protection in the WAP on the fly, right? So network security group, VCN security list, a network security group, right? Protecting from external firewall, right? So, and then we also have an internal private firewall, which is network security group, a good security posture that, protect from external and protect from internal private subnet. No? So for example, Mark, can I have a solution that my bare metal can only be accessed by, I have an application bare metal server and I have a database bare metal server. Do you have a solution so that only my application can connect to or contact or communicate with my database? Yes, the answer is network security group, enhancing the security from access, customizing the security and only allowing the access to a specific server as well, right? So, and then we have a lot of firewalls in our marketplace, Cisco, Checkpoint, right? That if your company is already using, you can use it in marketplace as well, right? So, number 4, better SLA and support. Okay, you can look at this, right? So Oracle is, we're changing our game, right? So we're becoming more customer centricity, and the support should be, and the SLA should be beefed up as well. All right, we are not only thinking about availability, which is the most cloud are providing you, but Oracle provides you also performance, right? Ensuring you that you don't have performance issue, you don't have performance bottleneck, oversubscription with other cloud. We don't do that here. We just ensure to you that we provide the best performing infrastructure as you need to. Manageability, the support, right? So talking about the support is that, our 24/7 support at no additional cost, right? So the good thing with OCI security, sorry that I go back to security, is that almost all of the security are free as well. So sorry to really, but this one, right? When I talk about commercial, most of these products are really, 90% free of service. Like the CloudGuard is free, security zones is free. Only, a little bit of charge in WAF, but WAF, when you have a one instance of WAF and a load balancer, it's free as well, right? So you have 2 instances, you will have, charging a bit like $5 or $10 only, but most of these are really free. I may say 95% are really free. So that's the good thing. So leverage our security solutions as much as possible. So because I remember we're talking about the support and additional costs. Okay, so our support compared to other clouds, you're paying business support, right, or extended support. As it's very uniform, right? In the OCI, you can just click that icon, help support button, and you can already communicate with our support 24/7, right? And it's free. And not only that one, right? When our customers here, right, we have a detailed onboarding for you up to go live support assurance. You will be assigned a dedicated CSM or customer success manager, which is PBR in this case in Philippines, right? So The customer success manager under my team is responsible in ensuring all of our customers are, from onboarding up to the go live, from our pre and post migration, right? We will be always here to support you. All right. My team here, solutions architect and technical account management, will ensure you have the architecture revolution, architecture roadmap, right? Ensuring you, providing you the best practices technically, right? We also have the OCLS or Cloud Leap Services, free migration, right? Free services. So all of these 1 to 6, we're not charging our customer, ensuring that you have a successful onboarding up to go live of your application and databases, etc. Right? So we also have our oral partner network and other ecosystems or product managers, etc., that can help you. Those partners right here are well qualified, like e-business suite migration from on-premise, from other clouds to OCI, saving you costs. Those kind of OPN, which are very skill-based expert. All right. So number 5 is about talking about the cost, right? So we're talking about how Oracle Cloud is different in terms of cost. You can see it here that we have a consistent and global unified standard pricing all over the world. All right, Mark, is the pricing for the VM, no? Intel VM in Europe is the same as in Singapore? The answer is yes. All right, so not like other cloud, every minute, every second, it changes the pricing. So we have a very consistent pricing that it applies the pricing of our compute, all of the services of our Oracle Cloud infrastructure remains standard and remains the same as much as possible. All right. Talking about the price competitiveness in terms of our virtual machines, bare metal, GPU storage, data archive, and of course the data ingress. We have a slide for that, right? So in infrastructure, we can guarantee you that our customer is saving right now 40 to 50% compared to our other cloud competitors. Okay, it remains based on the study of our of our other marketing. They found that our IaaS is still affordable and still very competitive with other cloud provider out there here, right? So okay, so in terms of database, Oracle database, since we own my Oracle database and MySQL, all right, it's already 50% and or more, right? That we can guarantee you that the database cost is up with Oracle database and MySQL as well. Okay, so talking about the what are the other charges that other cloud is charging you, right? So if you're a developer, DevOps, right? So the problem with others that when you are DevOps, you are using their Elastic Kubernetes service, but from us, when you use our OKE, we don't charge that service for you. You just only pay with the VM and the storage that we use, right? And then the availability domain, the network traffic, we don't charge you, all right, at no cost. The security zones within different fault domains also don't have any charges. I've mentioned about GuardGuard. This is a testament that it's free, and the other 90% of that security solutions are all free. That's the differentiator of Oracle. Logging, analytics, compared to the more than 0.50, right? Compared to 0.05, right? So the logging is tremendous logs. If you have 1 terabyte of logs, imagine how much you pay on the other side, right? So you're really saving a lot of money here. Okay. So data transfer is really the competitive edge of Oracle, especially the internet where all of the ingress are free. Okay, ingress means incoming. The outbound data transfer is free up to 10 terabyte. We are the only cloud company that's offering you free outbound terabyte of 10. No, I haven't seen in the Philippines that exceeding 10 terabyte. Usually 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte is the maximum. So imagine if you're a telco company, right? So one of the largest telco is our client here, right? So if the customer is downloading PDF, video, right? So imagine the charges, right? Imagine the charges that is being billed to you, right? So it's 90%. All of those network charges are already consuming your credits and your investments on the cloud. It's not good, right? So okay. All right. So again, no. So Mark, can if I have an Oracle database license, can I still use my my licenses? Yes, right. So you can have your BYOL, right? So your existing investments will not be waste, right? So you can run your your database on our move your leap and shift your database, but you can still use your license on our side. Of course, Oracle workloads runs best in OCI, no? So don't complicate if you're running Oracle technologies, run it in OCI because of the supportability and to remove the complexity as well, right? So we have the single vendor accountability, and then again I mentioned about UC and the simplification of billing. We don't have any hidden costs. Talking about Oracle Support Reward, remember the word Oracle Support Rewards or acronym of OSR. Our clients, right? The more they use the OCI, $1 spent, it will be returning you a reward of 25 cents per dollar. If you are using $1,000, automatically you have a 250 rewards that you can offset in paying your license on premise. Any license that you are paying or support in on premise, right? Not only that, combining the OSR plus our standard discount, no, when you have 100K, 500K, the threshold, right? You will achieve a 25%, for example, if it's less than 100K and more and more. So combining our OSR and support rewards give you entitlement of better discounting on top of the competitive pricing that we have compared to the cloud, right? So imagine that one, right? So YOCI, eliminate, gone are the days that you're hardware dependent, right? Gone are the days that you have a multiple vendor, removing the single vendor, you talk only to Oracle Cloud, right? So you can scale up, scale easily. You can access your servers securely, right? Protected from natural disasters. This will be your last tech refresh. If you move to OCI, we will ensure you the Gen 2, we will upgrade to you every now and then, right? So, and then this the high availability and reliability. Talk about the no hidden costs, right? Turn that capital expense to operational expense more cost effective. It's a fast implementation since it's cloud, right? We have the Oracle Cloud Leap services together, architects, go live support, and CSM. Our customers have a 1 to 2 months timeline of quick migration. Okay. All right. I'm moving to the last topic, which is multi-cloud, but I don't have a T-shirt here, right? But you can see I love multi-cloud. But the most important here is that Oracle and Azure Microsoft has a good business relationship in terms of connecting our network. When we connect our network, we can, connect our applications and databases and leveraging each other's strengths, right? So I love multi-cloud, right? So this is an example of our architecture coexistence, right, with the direct connect using AWS, using our fast connect, IPsec VPN with our client in OCI. So left side is our cloud competitor, but on the right side, you can see the three-tier architecture. Three-tier architecture, the front end, the application servers, the databases, the different databases. And then how do we connect it, the AWS to our IPsec VPN? How do we migrate? How do we migrate the applications or synchronize the real-time databases as well? So this is just a sample architecture. But looking at the going back to our multi-cloud strategy, we have already 11 Azure Interconnect from Asia to Europe and US, right? So meaning Azure Interconnect, right? We can securely connect, right? You have seen the T-shirt. It's really minus 2 millisecond network latency, right? So 2 milliseconds and below, right? So why do we need multi-cloud? Because we leverage Azure and my Azure Microsoft and Oracle Cloud Infrastructure strengths. Each capability, you will see the use cases later on, right? So, the economics of saving of using multi-cloud, you don't have a vendor lock-in. You have seen the less than 2 millisecond latency, the regional availability in the data centers that you have. You already meet the audit and compliance without being locked down in a single cloud provider. We can already, there are a lot of open standard and interoperability connecting to the different cloud, right? Like the Cloudflare, the best CDN, the Terraform, automating the infrastructure as a code, Kubernetes, where other clients run their Kubernetes in other clouds, the ServiceNow, right? The different logging, data hub, monitoring tools, Splunk, right? So uh, 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 exploring OCI connectivity is basically, we for example, that the clients in OCI have an e-business suite, they have a custom application, they have a SQL server, we can coexist, right? With the express route and fast connect, with the fast latency, we are leveraging each and other's strength, right? So you have the SQL server, you have your Exadata cloud service and e-business suite and the custom in-house application. You can also use the autonomous database and use the Power BI for their analytics as well. Okay, so this is just a sample of Azure architecture of Fast Connects and Express Route, where the on-premise, the customer has an on-premise data center connecting to the OCI via Fast Connect and IPsec VPN as a secondary network for redundancy, Express Routes, and VPN for the Microsoft Azure. And then we have this interconnect that we can configure right away, right? It's not only that Azure Interconnect, we also have other clouds, GCP, right, that we Equinix handles mostly of our data center around the world. So if your cloud is already hosted in Equinix, we can easily connect the OCI to AWS as well. It's not only for Azure. We have in Philippines, we have a lot of AWS, IPsec VPN connectivity, and or direct connect to OCI. Okay. So this is a sample of OEM, observability and manageability that, Mark, if do you have a solution, right, to extract, transform loads, all of those logs, you have your log analytics and visualization for other clouds, AWS or Azure. We can use our OEM log analytics to really gather that and analyze and visualize those logs, right? It's not only logging, but in terms of the application integration, you have your enterprise application, ERP application, human resource application, customer service application like Salesforce, database connectivity, robotics platform automation. We have the solution for you for automating the integration. We call it OIC. Not only enterprise application, but the product and social media applications. Especially like sales. I need to connect Facebook to my Salesforce, for example. You can do that by using our Oracle integration cloud and connecting either different applications with other clouds as well, right? So we have that application integration solution for you, automating that very difficult application integration. In terms of different multi-cloud approach in DevOps or Kubernetes, we have Veranso for you to really have a single pane of glass to really manage all of these Kubernetes solutions on other clouds as well, right? So these are the customers' success win stories, but I would like to really encourage everyone to really, we have this link, customer success, you can see all of the reference customers around the world, but this is our PH Oracle Cloud OCI customers. We have the banking clients. We have, I think, 5 clients on the financial services, loan management suite, insurance as well, right? One of the biggest client in the biggest insurance company in the Philippines as well. Most of our clients are on the online digital payment system. They're running their Kubernetes, their VMs or their DevOps also in OCI. The insurance I've mentioned already. We are 100 servers. This one.
Mark, yes. Sorry to cut you off. Is there a way to wrap up for the presentation? We have exceeded the time.
Sorry.
Yeah, and we have your colleague actually answered most of the question, but I'd like you to answer 2 remaining questions, please. If you could find a way to wrap up your presentation. Thank you. No worries at all.
I'm really sorry for that. So this is my last slide. Basically, try our OCI always free. Right, so always free means you're not being charged, right? So for technical enablement, just try it, and then we provided to you the helpful links for you to learn and being enabled in OCI. So recap, the summary that we discussed is that we discussed the OCI overview, the complete portfolio of what we have, the different top 5 differentiator of OCI, the multi-cloud strategy, and the training, helpful links, and customer references. Unfortunately, I did not discuss more of the references, but we can provide you this PDF different across industries in the Philippines, right? From financial services, insurance, education tech, right? Retail, manufacturing, automotive. We have the around less than 100 clients in OCI for the past 5 years. Thank you very much. That ends my presentation.